Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service at 4264 Monroe Drive. So before this camera, I took the camera down before, and I saw that there was some water accumulating, and it had the toilet paper hung up in there. I went back and forth with the camera, and it seemed like it wasn't clearing it. I'm not sure if that was just a little bit of a soft blockage, or if we have a little bit of a belly in this line. So we're going to take a look together at this. There was also, surprisingly enough, one spot of minor root intrusion, just like 6'4", just around the corner. I was told by a gentleman who came outside at one point that there was a tree at one point out here years ago. Maybe those tree roots are still very slowly hanging on. Not that that was much of an issue. Whatever the belly or soft blockage was more my concern. But I did see a little bit of roots. We may see them as we pull back. It was 70 feet to that tap. I also, because my distance indicator has been very wonky today, I think it was more like 80 feet, my first camera that I did. There was scale that we just came back from. That's mineralization that flakes off the drain that will flush out eventually. Nothing to worry about. So the roots was on the last time when I was getting 80 feet was the tap. It was around the 50-foot mark. I didn't see it. It was very small. So I must have gotten them pretty well, and you would think that it wouldn't grow back, but kind of a surprise there was anything, seeing how there's a parking lot. So it's looking like our clay's real good. So this is our cast to clay transition. Got some more of that scale. So yeah, we do go underwater again, and I have cleaned this line. You know, I'm wondering if this is just a bunch of scale that's kind of restricting the flow of water. It is flaking a lot, even though the cast looks to be in pretty good shape. Definitely haven't seen any, in the 2 times I've done this back and forth, I haven't seen any cracks, breaks, or offsets. I think this is just scaled up. At this time, that belly is very minor, if that is a true belly. If that's a concern, I might recommend a descaler service. It's a different machine entirely that knocks out it's like a chain on it. And I would be curious to see if that water is still holding after that, because there's a lot of flaking. That's not too bad on its own. There was some toilet paper getting hung up right there. Also, sidebar, so this is the same as 64. There is no sweep for Unit D, so Unit D doesn't have anything to worry about when it comes to this is scale on top. I'd be curious to see if the scale is just what's collecting that water, like rocks in a riverbed, kind of. It seems like there's a good amount right here. And I kind of come out of it quickly. Snaking with blades don't do that great of a job with scale. It knocks it off, but it won't push it because it's heavy enough. But over time, if it's loose in the clay, for instance, it will weather and head on out. But I would say that it might be best to, before we say there's a belly that needs to dig up, maybe do a descaler service with the machine with a chain. We do have that at Garvin's. It seems like it's it wasn't close to backing up. There was some toilet paper. First time, obviously the toilet paper is now gone. So I'm not going to necessarily say this is a belly yet before I know for a fact, because the descaler service might not, push all that scale out to the tap, and then if there's no water holding it afterwards, well then lo and behold, it was just scale kind of kind of restricting the water. If it's still there after the descaler service, then maybe you do have a belly. So right now I'd recommend maybe doing a descaler service. I'm not too worried about it right now at this time. That'll be something that maybe we can schedule at a future date. Yeah, that's potential belly. Definitely got some scale in there. The tree roots were very minor. I did knock those out, which is still a surprise they're there. Other than that, looks good to go. 30-day warranty. I don't see any evidence of grease or tampons or anything like that.